At exactly to 17 in the morning, somewhere beneath the US-Mexico border, everything was silent. Not lights, no helicopters, no flashing patrol lights. Only the faint hum of electric. Motors echoed through a hidden tunnel nearly 70 feet underground. Above the surface, thousands of people slept peacefully, completely unaware that one of the most sophisticated smuggling operations in history was unfolding beneath their feet. For years, border authorities believed they understood every possible route used by smugglers. Advanced cameras scanned the desert. Drones watched from above. Hundreds of agents patrolled day and night. But they were all looking in the wrong direction, because the real highway wasn't on the surface. It was hidden underground, a secret passage designed to move illegal cargo without ever crossing a checkpoint. By the time investigators uncovered the truth, millions of dollars worth of narcotics had already passed through its walls. This wasn't just another smuggling route. It represented years of planning, millions of dollars in investment, and a level of engineering that surprised even experienced investigators. Every beam, every cable, every concrete wall served a single purpose: keeping the operation invisible. To understand how such a tunnel could exist, investigators had to rethink everything they knew about organized crime. These were no longer small criminal groups. They were operating like multinational corporations with engineers, logistics experts, and long-term business strategies. Every time security became stronger above ground, traffickers adapted. When checkpoints improved, they changed their tactics. When surveillance increased, they searched for new weaknesses. Innovation became their greatest weapon. Some groups tried hidden compartments inside vehicles. Others relied on boats, drones, or ultralight aircraft. But eventually, one solution stood above all the others: digging beneath the border itself. At first, many investigators dismissed the idea. Digging a tunnel beneath an international border sounded almost impossible. The cost would be enormous, the risks even greater. Surely no criminal organization would attempt something so ambitious. But reality would prove far more shocking. Hidden beneath ordinary warehouses and industrial buildings, construction crews worked in complete secrecy, slowly creating one of the most sophisticated underground passages ever discovered. What authorities were about to uncover would completely change the fight against organized crime. Because this wasn't simply a tunnel, it was an underground transportation system built to outsmart one of the most heavily guarded borders in the world. And this was only the beginning. Building a tunnel beneath an international border wasn't a project that could be completed in a few days. It demanded months of planning, skilled workers, specialized equipment, and absolute secrecy. One mistake could expose the entire operation. Investigators later discovered that many of these tunnels began inside places no one would ever suspect. Ordinary warehouses, auto repair shops, small industrial buildings. From the outside, everything looked completely normal. Every morning, employees arrived for work just like any other business. Delivery trucks came and went. Customers visited. Nothing seemed unusual. But beneath the concrete floor, a secret world was taking shape. Dozens of feet below ground, excavation crews worked carefully through layers of soil and rock. Every section had to be reinforced. A single collapse could destroy months of work and trap everyone inside. Ventilation quickly became one of the biggest challenges. Fresh air had to reach every corner of the tunnel. Without it, workers couldn't stay underground for long enough to complete the project. Electricians installed lighting systems, power cables, and communication lines deep beneath the surface. What looked like a simple tunnel was slowly becoming a fully functional underground transportation corridor. Some documented tunnels even included narrow rail systems. Small carts could move heavy cargo quickly through the passage, allowing shipments to travel with remarkable efficiency while remaining completely hidden. As investigators pieced together the evidence, one fact became impossible to ignore. This wasn't amateur construction. The engineering quality suggested careful planning, technical expertise, and significant financial backing. Every support beam, every electrical cable, and every ventilation pipe raised the same question. How many people had been involved? And how had such a massive project remained hidden for so long? Authorities now realized they weren't chasing ordinary smugglers. They were facing an organized network capable of planning years ahead, investing millions of dollars, and building infrastructure that challenged one of the world's most secure borders. But the biggest discovery was still waiting beneath the surface. For powerful drug cartels, these tunnels weren't simply escape routes. They were long-term investments. Every successful shipment that avoided a checkpoint protected millions of dollars in illegal profits, making the enormous construction costs worthwhile. The tunnels were designed for efficiency. Every detail was carefully planned to reduce risk and increase speed. Time underground meant fewer opportunities for law enforcement to detect suspicious activity. Above the surface, organized crime had evolved into a sophisticated business operation. Every shipment involved logistics, planning, communication, and strict coordination. Success depended on precision, not luck. Meanwhile, investigators from multiple agencies were tracking suspicious financial activity, unusual property purchases, and industrial buildings that seemed ordinary from the outside, but didn't quite fit the pattern. At first, none of the clues appeared connected. A warehouse here, an abandoned building there, higher than normal electricity usage. Small details that seemed insignificant on their own. Then came another clue. Fresh soil appeared where no construction permits had been issued. It wasn't enough to prove anything, but it was enough to make investigators look closer. Soon, surveillance teams noticed unusual truck movements late at night. The deliveries were frequent, yet nothing seemed to leave the buildings during the day. Something hidden was happening behind closed doors. Investigators from Border Patrol, Homeland Security Investigations, the D, and local law enforcement began sharing intelligence. Piece by piece, the puzzle slowly came together. Technology became one of their greatest allies. Ground sensors, surveillance equipment, and advanced imaging tools helped investigators search for what couldn't be seen with the naked eye. Then came the breakthrough. The evidence was finally too strong to ignore. Beneath an ordinary industrial building, investigators confirmed the existence of a sophisticated underground tunnel. But what they were about to find inside would exceed every expectation. With search warrants approved, tactical teams secured the warehouse before dawn. Every entrance was sealed. Every room was searched. Then, beneath what appeared to be an ordinary concrete floor, investigators uncovered a carefully concealed access point. As the heavy hatch slowly opened, cool air rushed upward from the darkness below. A narrow metal staircase disappeared deep underground. No one knew exactly what was waiting at the bottom. Investigators descended carefully, one step at a time. Every movement was deliberate. The tunnel could contain hidden dangers, unstable structures, or evidence that would reveal how the entire operation worked. What they saw below was unlike anything they expected. Bright industrial lights illuminated a long concrete passage. The walls were reinforced with steel supports, and powerful ventilation fans kept fresh air flowing through the tunnel. Running along the floor were narrow steel rails designed for small cargo carts. Instead of carrying people, the system was built to move heavy loads quickly and efficiently beneath the border. Electrical wiring stretched the entire length of the passage, powering lights, ventilation equipment, and communication systems. Every detail suggested careful planning and professional construction techniques. Some sections of the tunnel showed clear signs of long-term use. Tracks were worn. Equipment had been maintained. This wasn't an unfinished project. It had already been operating for an extended period. Investigators carefully documented every detail. Measurements were taken. Photographs were captured. Every cable, support beam, and ventilation duct became potential evidence in a much larger investigation. The discovery confirmed what many experts had warned for years. Organized crime wasn't simply reacting to border security. It was constantly evolving, investing in increasingly sophisticated methods to avoid detection. As investigators reached the far end of the passage, one reality became impossible to ignore. This tunnel represented far more than hidden construction. It revealed the scale, resources, and determination of the criminal networks behind it. And this discovery would reshape future border security operations. The tunnel's discovery marked a turning point. Border security agencies realized they could no longer focus only on what happened above ground. The battlefield had expanded beneath the surface, forcing investigators to rethink decades of strategy. Engineers, geologists, intelligence analysts, and federal agents began working together like never before. Finding hidden tunnels required more than traditional policing. It demanded science, technology, and constant innovation. Ground-penetrating radar, ground aérial surveillance, and intelligence sharing became essential tools. Every suspicious warehouse, every unusual construction project, and every anonymous tip received closer attention than ever before. But organized crime refused to stand still. Every time one tunnel was discovered, traffickers searched for new methods, deeper roads and better visible. It became an endless game of adaptation. This was no longer simply a battle over territory. It had become a race between technology and innovation. Every new security measure triggered an equally determined effort to overcome it. Investigators understood that dismantling a tunnel was only one victory. The real objective was identifying the criminal network that financed, planned, and operated the entire system. Financial records, surveillance footage, communications, and forensic evidence gradually revealed how complex these organizations had become. Every discovery uncovered another layer of the operation. Behind every hidden tunnel stood thousands of lives affected by the illegal drug trade. Families, communities, law enforcement officers, and entire neighborhoods carried the consequences of a business driven by enormous profits. The tunnels became powerful symbols of organized crime's ability to evolve. They demonstrated that determined criminal networks would continue searching for new opportunities whenever old methods became too risky. Although many sophisticated tunnels have now been discovered and dismantled, the challenge has never truly disappeared. Every investigation reminds authorities that organized crime continues to adapt, innovate, and test the limits of modern border security. But the final lesson of this story is even more important. The greatest surprise wasn't that these tunnels existed. It was how sophisticated they had become, hidden beneath ordinary streets and warehouses. They revealed an underground world that few people ever imagined, a world built in complete secrecy, operating just below everyday life. Every tunnel uncovered represented months, sometimes years of planning. Engineers, construction crews, logistics coordinators, and financiers all played their part in creating a hidden route designed to avoid one of the world's most heavily guarded borders. But history has shown one simple truth. No hidden system remains invisible forever. Every secret operation eventually leaves behind a clue. Sometimes it's a financial record. Sometimes it's unusual construction activity. Sometimes it's a single mistake. One unusual truck delivery. One anonymous tip. One suspicious property purchase. Small details that meant nothing alone but together. They exposed an operation worth millions. For law enforcement, every discovery became a lesson. Every investigation improved future operations. Technology advanced. Intelligence sharing expanded. And the search for hidden tunnels became more sophisticated than ever before. Yet organized crime continued to evolve. Every barrier inspired a new strategy. Every security upgrade encouraged another attempt to stay one step ahead. The battle never truly ended, it simply changed shape. The story of these tunnels isn't just about engineering or smuggling. It's about adaptation, constant contest between those enforcing the law and those determined to break it. Today, many of the tunnels once hidden beneath the border have been sealed forever. But their discovery changed border security strategy, proving that the greatest threats aren't always the ones you can see. In the end, every underground empire depends on one thing remaining invisible. The moment investigators uncover even a single hidden passage, years of planning can collapse in an instant. The battle beneath the border continues to evolve, driven by innovation on both sides. But one lesson remains unchanged. No matter how carefully a secret is buried, every hidden tunnel leaves a trace. And sooner or later, the truth finds its way to the surface. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for the next true story hidden beneath history.